right, hi guys. This is Miss Curran. I've been getting a lot of questions recently about what you guys can do currently about your grades, how grading is going to work, and I finally got some answers. So I've put together this little presentation. I'm going to go through it with you, and then I'll just post this video along with the presentation, and that way you have access to both. So let's talk about what currently makes up your grade. So when you are looking on Infinite Campus, we have taken 4 tests, 4 big tests so far this year. The first one we took was the cell size test. That was way back in January. And then we took the cell cycle test. Those are in the same standard, so they come together as an average that will go into your final grade down here. After that, we did the DNA test, and then the protein synthesis test was the last test that we just took, and those two went into a different standard over here, so they come out with a different average. So if you look down here at where it says final grade, you will see, sorry, I know it's kind of weird, but you will see down here averages 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here, I'll just exit out of here and we can look at it this way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, you're wondering where 3 and 4 comes in. So we also did some modeling and some vocab practice. Science and engineering practice number 4, that standard was the modeling. So that was the differentiation lab, DNA lab, and Zweibel. So all of that went into this standard to create average number 3. And then your quick quizzes all went into their own standard for average number 4. So to find your final grade, you basically take an average of all of your averages. So you add up your average from standard 1, average from standard 2, average from standard 3 and 4, and then you add all those together and you divide by 4, and you have the grade that you currently have. Now, here is what we have been told from the district. Whatever grade you currently have cannot go lower while we are out on distance learning. So whatever grade you had as of 3/13 cannot be reduced. So say you had a D, you cannot go down to an E at this point. If you had a B, you cannot go down to a C. If you're at an A, that is where you are at. However, you can increase your grade. So why should you bother doing any of this work if you're passing, if you have a passing grade? It might not seem like it now, but all the work that we're assigning you, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to get the grade that you want. So when you take a look at what the grading scale is, these are all the average numbers. So when you go through and find what your current grade is, you'll see kind of a decimal point grade that falls somewhere in this grading scale. So you can kind of go in and mess around with what kind of grades you would have needed to get the certain grade that you want. Now, moving forward, we are not allowed to give you any technically new summatives, but we are moving forward in the content. So here is what you can do currently to get your grade up. We are going to have 4 more assessment type things. These are not going to be tests. They are going to be projects that you can do digitally and individually. And each one will act as a replacement grade for your lowest test grade. So when you go back up to here and look and see, okay, maybe you didn't do so well on the cell cycle test, and a lot of people struggled with that test. If you do really well with the meiosis assessment next week, I can go in and replace your cell cycle test with that grade from meiosis. And now all of a sudden this average goes up, which means your whole final grade will go up. So if you take a look, we're going to have 4 different ones. We're going to do meiosis assessment next week. We're going to do kind of a mini genetics unit where you guys look at genetic disorders. We are going to do a mini pathogens unit because I did see enough interest in that, and I think it would be really good for you guys to know at this point. You're going to have a kind of video thing to do for that, and human impact, which will be pretty much all of May. That's 4 grades. You can basically replace all 4 tests that we took. So say you decided not to do anything the last few months and now you're freaking out because you really want to pass biology, this is how you do that. Say you really want to get from that B to an A, you absolutely can do that at this point. I am going to be focusing on changing up these test grades right now. If for some reason those test grades are really good, but maybe you struggled somewhere down here a little bit, I'll look at that like secondly, but I will look at the tests first because those kind of take up more space in their averages than these guys do because we have like 10 quick quizzes. So there's not a lot that will change with that. So I'm hoping that kind of makes sense to you guys. So basically, all of the upcoming things that you see that has a rubric on it, which is how I've indicated in the past that it's a summative. It's not going to be put in as a new summative. It will be put in as a replacement grade. Which is a really, really great opportunity for you guys to kind of get those grades up. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me about them. I would be more than willing to kind of sit down and chat with you individually about your grade. Just let me know and we can kind of set that up. Okay, I hope that helps. Thanks, and I will see you later.